Hello. Thought I would tune in with you guys this morning on a Monday morning. First thing, because there's something on my mind that I would really love to share with you guys, okay? And it's to do with parenting, yeah? And being a mother myself, I have um, one valuable thing actually that I have learnt as a mum, and I don't know about the rest of the mums out there, but that is that you cannot get away with fobbing off your children. Okay. Now, my son is actually diagnosed with autism, so I don't know if this is perhaps an autistic trait. So maybe it's most common with children that are autistic or Asperger's. But basically, it is that your child, okay, will know that they are being fobbed off, okay? Now, regardless of whether your child knows this or not, okay, the thing is that if we are to practice yoga, okay, if we are to practice spiritually developing ourselves, one of the most important aspects of that is to be in a habit of being truthful, okay? Being truthful to ourselves and being honest with other people as well. And that is something that can be done in a compassionately loving way if you are developing your heart. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be brutal and harsh all the time. Sometimes there are circumstances that may call for you to, in a healthy way, to be kind of aggressive with the truth. But, talking specifically about parenting here, I think it's important to model to your children the importance of being honest, okay? Being able to have honest conversations and give honest explanations for reasons as to why a certain perhaps consequence applies to them, to be honest about that. Sometimes it's much easier for us to want to fob off a child with just any old explanation for our own peace of mind, okay? So we have to really get into a habit of questioning our motives, okay? We have to get into a habit of understanding our motivations, okay, for why we put certain consequences in place for children and why we say what we say to them, okay? What is your reason for, the reason that you have decided to do something or to say something to that child? What is the true intention behind that? A lot of the times, especially for stressed out parents, that motivation is about your motivation for either putting a certain consequence in place or giving a certain explanation to your child about something. The motivation sometimes behind that is just your need for your own peace of mind, okay, so that you yourself can feel less stressed, okay? And that's because that some people are in a habit of wanting to constantly control external conditions, believing that if they can gain some control over their outside reality, that the internal reality will be in a much better place. And the thing is, that's just not true, okay? That's just not how reality works. Yes, maybe temporarily it may work, but in the long run, I have learned that it doesn't, okay? And in the long run, you really will have to start being honest with yourself and going more inwards, okay, to be able to have any kind of real effect on what is going on the outside. You have to be able to go inwards, okay? So anyway, sticking specifically to parenting and the fobbing off of children, you need to realize your motivations, yeah, your real intention behind what you are saying to that child, okay? If you are just fobbing them off, for your own peace of mind, then why? Okay, we need to ask ourselves, why do we feel the need to do that? Because whatever you explain to your child, it's really got to be about the child. Okay, it's really got to be that your intention is for the healthy growth and development of your child. Yeah, and that has to come from a place of love. And the problem is that a lot of us are not in the habit of doing that, because a lot of us don't even know what love actually feels like in our bodies, because that's how disconnected we are from the frequency of love. So, that is a story for another day. So, just to get into a habit of responding more consciously to your children rather than coming from a reactive place of feeling stressed out. And I know it is really easy for, especially for single moms or for any mom, it is really, really easy to be a very stressed out kind of mom. Just start to notice when you are just explaining things to your child because you're in a reactive mode, okay? And start to really bring in a feeling of wanting to give honest explanations to your children. And obviously these have to be age appropriate, honest explanations. So it does depend on what you're actually dealing with here. But, just don't fob kids off. Okay, kids will know that they're being fobbed off, whether they voice that to you or not. I think kids are really clever and they'll know if their parent is fobbing them off, and that's not going to make them earn respect for you, and it's just going to put them into a habit of doing that as well. Okay, then they will become dishonest adults who feel like they can't openly express their feelings to other adults. Yeah, and it will just lead to relationship problems when they're older. So be as honest as you can with your children, and do it because you love them and because you really want them to grow up to be healthy adults. Okay, anyway, that's all I wanted to share. So yeah, have a great Monday. Okay, have a lovely Monday, and wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.